So, I've been shopping and I've bought myself a little Vespa. Not my speciality, so I've had to call in some expertise assistance from a very, very good friend of mine. I've purchased an EGIG 170 engine, which was meant to be plug and play. A quick pressure test came up 0, so now it's got to come apart to find out why it's not holding any pressure, and that's the job today. And that's a step beyond my capabilities. So my friend here is going to basically strip down the engine, but while he's doing that, I'm going to talk to you about the bodywork. So I purchased the scooter, had the frame stripped and blasted. Blasting revealed an awful lot of pug, and obviously the pug disintegrated when blasting, leaving huge holes in the bike. So the frame had to go to Roger at Pro Design, and Roger very kindly welded all of that up beautifully, but also popped the frame on the jig because we could see that it was not straight. The rear wheel was way off centre. So it went on to Roger's jig, and Roger's straightened that all out for me. From there, it went to Aaron at South Coast Customs, and Aaron prepped and then primed and painted the frame for me. We've had that painted in a very nice vintage copper with a rainbow dust flake over the top, which is very subtle but actually catches the sunlight beautifully when the sun is out. And then lacquered over. He's done the headset, the front mudguard, the frame, the glove box, and the spare wheel carrier that sits on the back of the bike, and then the rear light unit sits in the middle, is repositioned in the middle of the spare wheel. So I've had a little spend up at SIP, and I've bought a few bits, a few little tricks. So we've got a Verotronic ignition, which is DC, and then the bike will be fitted with a small battery, a 12-volt ignition. We have bought SIP front and rear suspension, the spacer so that we can offset the rear suspension so that it doesn't rub on the frame. New levers, a complete fixing kit, floorboard runners, rubbers. I've also purchased an Evoke LED headlight, which looks totally non-standard but very sexy, and a Evoke LED rear light panel. I'll be able to see where I'm going, and people behind me will very much be able to see where I am. I'm looking forward to seeing all of that go back together. This is going to be a really nice bike. All the wheels, the forks, I've stripped myself and then resprayed in kind of an original wheel silver. So it'll have a fresh set of boots. I've also purchased a SIP seat. When I got the bike, it had one of those little fiberglass racing seats on it. That's no good for me. I want to tour on this bike, so I've got a nice sort of low profile bench seat for it. We're going to convert the carburettor to a power jet. Okay, this isn't going to be the fastest small frame on the road, but it's going to be quick enough for me, and it's going to be able to tour at a reasonable speed, easily and comfortably, keeping up with all my pals on their Lambrettas, but enable me to have a little bit more fun, perhaps going around the twisties. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually buzzing about getting this thing on the road. It's been a long process going through all of that welding work. It's been a long process going through the paint. I've had to be very, very patient, and it's cost a few quid, to be brutally honest, more than I thought it was going to be. So this isn't going to be the fastest small frame out there. Obviously it's a 170, it's running off a 51mm Comrod, so it's not a long stroke or anything like that. This works off standard, the standard SIP casings. It's not a 180, not a 187, and EGIG have moved on way further now. They're producing 220s. Exhilarating stuff to ride, I'm sure. but I understand this is going to be sort of around about 22 brake, so that's plenty good enough for me, and that will be much fun to ride. I'm absolutely certain of that. So we bought a couple of little Crimaz goodies as well. So there is an anti-dive kit to just stop that front end bouncing around too much. The gear selector is also going to be a Crimaz. I think that's important to have really good quality bits and pieces like that in the bike. It's going to be finished to the highest standard it can be, and I'm very much looking forward to getting it all back together and on the road. So, being an excited small frame novice, if anyone out there has got any pearls of wisdom, please do mention them in the comments below. Any advice you can give would be gratefully received, and I'm sure you'll see this bike in a few videos further on down the line once it's all back together. In the meantime, all of you, ride safe and keep them peeled for further updates on the small frame as things develop. Take care.